Hey, welcome to Make It Funny, where I take your suggestions and today's a special day because I actually got a suggestion from a real person, or maybe it's a bot, who knows. But anyway, today's suggestion comes from Axerd9212 or 9212 or 922 912. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, thanks for the suggestion, which was Meatloaf. Lots of pressure here because I really want to make this one funny versus the ones I make up that nobody cares about. I love Meatloaf. I can't make it funny because it's so great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the suggestion. Sorry to let you down. That's not true. I have thoughts. So I started thinking, who came up with Meatloaf? Where did it originate? I could have looked it up on any numerous search engines, but they're so biased these days, who knows if I'll get the truth. So I decided I would just imagine myself what happened. So, there's two things that happen. Because Meatloaf is basically smooshed hamburgers. It's ground beef, onions, and ketchup and bread. So in which order did it happen? Did somebody have a barbecue back in, 1932 or whenever? And it was a fun barbecue, but oh boy, the family started talking politics, and then there was this whole, are you on the side of Capone or not? Because that's just stuff that happens in Chicago barbecues. And after the barbecue's over in 1927 or whatever year I picked, Mary looks at all these hamburgers and buns and onions and goes, what do I do with this? And right as she's about to throw it into her trash receptacle, the ones with the metal lids, and a scrape across the street, she goes, wait a minute. What if? Or maybe she's like, this is just such a waste of food. There's starving kids in Africa. That's a phrase that'll become popular 50 years from now. Anyway, I'm just going to smush this all up, throw it in the trash, and wait a minute. Ground beef, onions, bread. I just cooked this and then smothered it in ketchup. That would be a wonderful leftover meal. We'll call it Meatloaf. And thus, Meatloaf was invented in my scenario. Or the other way, was Meatloaf first. And somebody's eating meatloaf and they're like, meatloaf, beatloaf. Ugh. So sick of meatloaf. I mean, I like the way it tastes. It's just so boring to eat. What if I separated the ingredients? I'll take the ground beef, put it in a little saucer. And then I'll take the breadcrumbs and I'll just take those and make them into just bread. And then instead of dicing up the onions, we'll just put a slice of onion on there and then I'll smother it with ketchup and then I'll call it a meatloaf burger. And 100 years later, it's the most popular fast food in the world thanks to this genius, this genius who not only came up with a hamburger by dissecting meatloaf in my world view of how good. When I started this, I was like, I could go with Meatloaf the food or Meatloaf the singer. I should have gone with Meatloaf the singer. Turns out, Meatloaf the food's not very funny. But anyway, I appreciate the suggestion, Axerd9212. If you'd like to get that shout out, because I bet you he or she or whoever is feeling pretty good right now, aren't you? Just put it in the suggestions.